What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we got a bunch of stuff that we need to be talking about for the One Piece TCG. We've got updates to a bunch of stories we've talked about previously, but I want to start off with a question a lot of people have been asking, so I figured that's a good place to start now that we do have confirmation. And the question is, how many of those LA Dodgers Luffy cards are actually going to be given away? And I think we have an answer. Between 40 and 56,000. Now, we don't have an exact answer. It looks like we have an exact answer. We actually don't. So we are told One Piece Night at Dodger Stadium will include a variety of One Piece activations in and around the stadium on July the 3rd, as well as a giveaway of One Piece co-branded straw hats to the first 40,000 ticketed fans in attendance that night. Only one giveaway item per person per valid ticket upon entering the stadium. Following the game, One Piece Night will conclude with a special drone show featuring fan favourite characters from the series. That doesn't say 40,000 cards will be given away. That says 40,000 co-branded hats will be given away. Now, it is absolutely possible that it is essentially given out as a pair. Remember when Borussia Dortmund did their giveaway? You could go to, say, the fan area at the stadium and just do a learn to play and get the card, but actually at the stadium, when it was going on, it was a case of you got the card and the sticker and a scarf in a little bag. It might be that, and if it is that, it's 40,000, but it says the hats are 40,000. Now, the closest we're given to the card is the One Piece card will be distributed to ticketed fans, one card per person on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last, when they visit one of the One Piece activation spaces inside of Dodger Stadium. Okay. Now, essentially, I looked up the capacity of Dodger Stadium. It's 56,000. That's what Google told me. 56,000 capacity. So, essentially, if they print enough for one for every fan, there's going to be 56,000. If they give them away with the hats, it's going to be 40,000. It's going to be somewhere in that range. And right now, there's probably a bunch of you listening to this video going, hang on a second, Wassy. 40,000? 50,000? That's a huge number. It's not. It is not. When you think about the number of cards that are given, opened in packs, for instance, people think, these super rare manga rares, there's only a few hundred of those. No, there aren't. There are thousands of manga rares. You got to think about quite how many boxes are being opened. As an example, Borussia Dortmund gave away one at the game, as well, there's BVB Luffy, as well as giving them away at the fan area, for instance. And Borussia Dortmund have a much bigger stadium than the LA Dodgers. They've got a capacity of over 80,000. It is a much bigger stadium. And yet that is a card which has been quite rare and sought after. And they probably gave away 80 to 100,000 of those. 80 to 90,000, somewhere in that range. And yet that's been a sought-after card. You've also got to remember that there probably are a bunch of people that went to that event who have no interest in One Piece. The BVB game, I mean. That's always a sellout. So it is worth pointing out there probably were a lot of those BVB cards that were essentially lost to the ether. They're just gone. They're never coming back. Because people took them home and binned them, or left them in the stadium, or just, took them home and put them in a drawer or whatever. And there'll be some of the ones for the LA Dodgers as well, to be fair. And yeah, let that sink in. There are going to be some people that get this card and don't care, and yet there's a bunch of people watching this video right now, like me, recording it, going, I really want to go to that game, and I can't make it. So I know a lot of people have wondered about the numbers. That's roughly what we're looking at. 40 to 50,000, I think, is a pretty fair guide. Cool. But there's other stuff going on in the One Piece TCG that we need to have a little bit of a look about. Like, for instance, well, let's talk about the Pirate Store Qualifier, the Pirates League Store Qualifier. We've not actually had a chance to talk about this yet, So maybe this is a good time to do so. This is the thing we talked about before, and basically the way it works is players attend the store's qualifier event and battle to see who will form the store's free captains. That is a free member team. They can also have up to 10 support members chosen from here as well. All selected crew members get a guaranteed entry pass to enter the Season 1 Finals venue. The Finals tournament invitation will need to be separately earned through the championship tournaments. Players will be selected by a lottery if the number of applicants exceeds the event capacity. They can only join one store qualifier, and if any of the captains becomes unable to attend, their spot will be passed on to the support crew member. So, for instance, if they advance to the North America Finals top cut, they would be busy when the Pirates League Finals were going on, so that's how it would work. There we go. And if any of the support crew members aren't able to attend, their spot will be passed to the next player in the wait list. Now, that's all cool. What's really interesting from our point of view here are the prizes, and there's some things we've talked about before that have been available at other places which we're just not going to get too invested in. But there are a couple of promo cards we need to talk about, by which I mean 2 versions of when you're at sea, you fight against pirates. And basically, now this is an alternate art of the one from OP05, and actually, just as a side note here, perfect choice of promo, because you look at 3 cards on the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew, Kids Pirates or Heart Pirates card and add it to your hand. Well, this is like a 3-person team we're picking, like these 3, the 3 captains, and this is a card that will search for any of them. Perfect card, absolutely perfect. So that's just for the store championship for the store. And then we've got the winner's version, the foil version as well, which is lovely. It's very, very nice. It's given to the winner of the qualifier at each store. Essentially, the winner gets this, 2nd and 3rd place gets to be on the team, and then 4th to 13th are your 10-person crew. And then your participation is the regular card. Very cool promo, big fan, love it. No notes. Now, another thing that's happening with the One Piece TCG right now is that there are some official frames being given out over in Japan. Now, what I will say is these seem to be like the only thing that doesn't get brought over to the West. Pretty much everything that happens in Japan for One Piece, all the sleeves and promos and all sorts, they all make their way over here. Except for the frames. Now, what's interesting here is, of course, that Pokemon do these exact kind of frames as well, and I don't know for certain, but the build certainly seems to look like they are made by the same company, and those frames also don't come over here to the West, in Europe or North America. My guess is there is something about the production or the shipping or some kind of regulation. There is some reason, some logistical reason why they can't come over here. So I'm showing them to you now, but I'm also letting you know there's a decent chance we don't get them. For Japan, they're coming out on the 28th of June. They are retailing for 1,650 yen. And since you don't all work in yen, maybe I should just let you know nice and quickly. The 1,650 yen is $11.40. And there are 2 versions of them. They're both being shown off with the alternate art Luffy, which is quite cool, the OP09 Luffy. And we've got one which is kind of like your generic One Piece TCG background in blue. And then the other one, which is a bunch of wanted posters. I love these. These are the best frames they've done. I'm a big fan. I think I might have to pick these up. These are awesome. I know for a lot of people are going to look at them and be like, Wassy, mate, they're just frames that we're not going to be able to get here. Don't know why we care. That's a fair point. But you need to know about these. I kind of make it my job to tell you everything you need to know about the One Piece TCG. These are new products you need to know about. Speaking of which, there's a couple of magazines which have come out recently. The One Piece magazine with the girl promo has now been released. It's waiting at my proxy address over in Japan. So this is what the cover looks like. If you're looking for the magazine, this is the cover. And then there's another magazine, which I've definitely not shown you the cover for previously. This is the Psycho Jump, the July Psycho Jump. This is what the cover looks like. For our purposes, this is the one with the Sanji promo in. And I know there's a bunch of people out there that want this Sanji promo. Yes, at some point we will be getting this Sanji promo. We always get the promos. But sometimes they do make us wait a long time to actually get these promos. So, yeah. We're going to get it at some point. When are we going to get it? I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. I have absolutely no idea. But at some point in the not too distant future, we are going to be getting it. And if nothing else, that is kind of cool. As for the Sanji, I should let you guys know that we've got on opponent's attack, once per turn, trash an event card from your hand, and your leader or one of your characters gets a 2k bump for the battle. It's fine. It's alright. Certainly Sanji wants to have cards in the discard, so that's alright. Yeah, there we go. The girl, I should say, by the way, is a very interesting promo. It's clearly, but we talked about this before with the girl wanting to be like Nami. We've got on play, draw a card, and then trash a card from your hand, and activate main once per turn. Give your Nami arrested Don, and that could be leader or character. So, interesting promos. Also, the scan we got on the screen does not show off quite how nice the texture and all is on this girl promo. So, yay! That's something we can talk about in the future. For now, you've had the update on the Dodgers Luffy, you've had the update on these magazine promos, and I've shown you some frames and a Pirates League. I've had a bunch of updates about a bunch of things, which, to be fair, is what I promised you. So now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of this in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.